So, if you don't know what we're doing, this is the NPK show, yeah, and this is the hydroponics show about hydroponics.
You're listening to NPK Live.
And it's with myself, Thomas.
And myself, Stephen.
Right, so we're on podcast 126, yeah, Science versus Skeptic. I'm the Skeptic.
As always.
And who are you?
I am the science part of this dynamic duo.
Oh, okay. So basically, he's the idiot who just reads books.
Oh, it's Mickey still wants me to adjust the main camera.
I'm the person who actually knows what we're doing out here, do you know what I'm saying? So, let's go for it, right? Basically, this show, all this month, Steve's been going on about these microbes and about all of this science palaver and all, reading this book crap and stuff. And he's been telling me how science is so prominent and science paved the way and science told us what to do and showed us... Science didn't show me shit, bro. I showed myself some shit, yeah. And the streets taught me my shit. So let's have it then. Science versus Skeptic and me against you. What? Come on. What have you got to say about these tiny little microorganism things?
So, before we get into it, there's a few people watching now. We're on 3 Instagram lives. T-Bone, NPK, Reg NPK. We're on Facebook Live as well for the podcast. And we are doing the podcast 126.
Yeah.
Science versus Skeptic.
Yeah.
Microbes.
Yeah.
Now, you tend to get the upper hand every now and again on the Science versus Skeptic.
Yeah,
but I don't think you've got a chance this month.
Go on then. What have you got to say to me then?
Microbes. Yeah, what have you got to say?
I just reckon it's a waste of time.
Why? Because
first of all, they're very temperamental.
A bit like yourself.
Yeah, but I'm a lot more hardier. I can take a bit of a beating. You know, your little microbes can't.
Oh, can't they?
No.
Well, there's a little group of microbes called extremophiles, and they like to hang about in the volcano.
Pedophiles? No.
Extremophiles.
They need locking up, mate.
Yeah, extremophiles.
Okay.
These are the versions of microbes that live in volcanoes, live in acid, live in all the places that you don't want to live because these are extreme SAS motherfuckers.
Okay.
And microbes are engineered by the scientists to be able to withstand any application you put them in.
Okay, so why can't they withstand an EC greater than 1.5?
Because some do a really good job, but they are a little bit temperamental.
Yeah.
So some microbes don't want to go above 1.5. So if you're introducing to them, it's a good point. You don't want to take your EC, your salt level above 1.5 because it tends to slow them down. They don't reproduce as quickly. But you were saying this about Mammoth P yesterday. Mammoth P have engineered theirs so that they've evolved, they've picked out the bacteria that can withstand the high salt content. So a high salt content doesn't even affect the Mammoth P microbes.
Okay. So how long has all this microbial talk, chit-chat been going on for?
Well, microbes have been around.
No, microbial chit-chat within the hydroponics industry.
Or within the hydroponics industry?
Legally
15 years 15 years but it's only I feel maybe it's only because I've just really started getting into microbes that I've really started getting into microbes. But they've been around for a long time, but it's come to prominence in my mind in the last year.
Yeah, because you've only just started learning about it, all of you, right? Because you're coming all out talking about this microbe hoo-ha.
Well, we've always used microbes.
Yeah, the microbes are everywhere. You blow your nose and there's microbes on the piece of tissue. Of course, we've always used microbes makers.
We've always used microbes in hydroponics. But
what microbes did we use 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
In hydroponics?
In hydroponics. Well, actually, I was having I'm happy Andy came, actually, because their company, the Plant Success, who do the Great White, 20 years they've been going for.
Okay, well, 22 years.
22 years ago.
Yeah.
People were just using natural shit.
Yeah.
They didn't understand what they were putting in.
Yeah.
But they were still using microbes.
Now, all I'm saying is, how many microbes, different types of microbes are they to do with hydroponics?
To do with hydroponics?
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah. Do we know what they all do?
Not yet. We know what a lot of them do.
We know what a lot of them... Don't be wriggling out of my questions. Yeah. We don't know what all of them do we?
No.
Do we know the full extent of what the ones that we do know can do?
No.
Good. So we don't really know actually much about these microbes. really, do we?
No,
But
they've been around for a billion years.
fucking hell, so Stonehenge, but I'm not going to start putting it in my back garden, am I?
You might do.
I might get fucking nicked as well. I might get arrested. I don't think many people would be fucking happy about that.
No, taking a fucking national treasure. I just think it'd look better in my back garden.
Yeah, so if anybody's got an IAB and wants to come down Stonehenge and fucking help me build a new garden, just message me after the show. Nah, on a serious one.
Microbes have been about for. Did you know actually plants? Microbes have been around for that long that we wouldn't even have plants without microbes.
Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is there's a lot we don't know about microbes, and there's a lot of microbes out that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah, out there.
Like millions of species.
And even the microbes that we've got now, we don't really know that much about them, neither do we?
No.
And then we also don't know how these microbes will work it together or against one another. However, you've got to tell me what's good about that. I'm not going to say it.
Well, there's a lot of research left to do, and we're always learning. But the stuff that we have learned so far has been very optimistic. We're very optimistic. It's been very... the word in my head's pleasurable, but that's not the right word. Maybe it's been pleasurable.
We are. Well, I'm going to keep it simple. Why on earth, if I grow plants, why would I want to put microbes in my plants? What's the point? Why don't I just carry on doing what I'm doing?
And what are you doing?
I'm just putting a bit of Cocoa A and B and a bit of Explode in there.
So that's not the type of nutrition that plants have been used to over the last million years.
But I've got an EC meter and it says I have to go up to 2.2, and microbes don't like that. So how am I going to bother with microbes with this information?
So you've got to use microbes at the very beginning so that you build up a colony that's strong enough to withstand the late stages of flower. A colony.
Who's Colin?
No, colony.
Oh, okay.
Colin Lee.
Oh, Colin Lee.
Colin Lee.
Yeah, okay.
He likes to form symbiotic relationships, bacteria and plants. And you build them up at the beginning. So you introduce them early in veg, even when they're clones. A great example is, if you ever had dampen off, you pop your seed, grows up a little bit, and then just falls over.
Yeah, floppy plant.
Floppy plant. That's because you've not used good microbes, and the bad microbes have attacked your plant and caused it to die. It's actually botrytis.
Or they could have been like them clones you took the other day and just took the knock.
That was electricity.
Was it?
Yeah. We had electricity outage because the Wirral's getting new electricity pylons.
Well, you know, I've got to make sure that you've got a lecky in the gaff.
That's a good starting
Top
point.
tip for when you're growing a crop, is make sure that you've got electricity in the gaff. Otherwise, you will be a little bit fucked.
Make sure they're not doing electricity works when your lights are on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you got no light, and the extreme propagator you were using stopped spinning it towards the clones, and they're basically fucking dead. I think we should take a picture of our dead clones.
Yeah.
So, top tip.
Another top tip for
Put
electricity in your gaff.
Always put the fiver in the meter.
Yeah, always pay your meter. Always pay the meter bill when you're growing a crop. Have you ever heard of the horseshoe?
The horseshoe pass.
The horseshoe pass in Wales. Have you ever been to the horseshoe pass in Wales? I believe it's a really good place to visit.
Hey, listen. Facebook people are nice. Some of them questions I'm getting through here. Is there microbes on a woman's moggy?
Hey. Well, of course there is. How do you think he's end up with the clap? And crabs.
Oh, these are funny. I think we might put Instagram on a bit more often.
Yeah. Of course, there's microbes on there. How do you think you know when you get home the next day and you think, oh, I've got a bad itch here now?
No, I've never thought that.
No, neither have I. Sorry.
That's when the bad ones take over.
Yeah. Or if you're standing in the queue I don't know, the queue somewhere, you're queuing for something, but always queuing. We spend 70% of our lives queuing up, and you can see that.
You don't. You never fucking queue.
Nah,
you're the worst queue in the world.
Well, if you're standing at the front of the queue where you've just bunked in, and you're looking at the back, you need to be standing at the back, because then you're looking at that woman who's like picking her ass. thinking, ooh. Anyway, back to the show. So, yeah, there is little critters, microbes everywhere, isn't he?
All over the human body, actually.
How many's in your beard? I bet there's little egg ones in there.
Don't talk about eggs in my beard. That's not true at all. But there's definitely billions of microbes in there.
He's definitely got egg or something like that in that beard.
Oh, that was me breakfast.
Yeah.
You're on about the scrambled egg, aren't you?
Scrambled egg, yeah.
Oh, shit. I need to clean that out. No, there's billions of microbes in the beard. There's billions of microbes. There's trillions of microbes all over your body. Your body's actually more microbe than it is you. You know, if you removed all the microbes, you'd weigh like kilos less. So are you actually you, or are you actually just one big microbe working together?
I don't know. So what's the point, though? Is it really good to put them in your crop?
Yes.
Why?
Because they've always been around plants. Plants would not be here without microbes. And to get heavy for 2 seconds, there's 2 cells in the plant called mitochondria and chloroplast.
Oh.
They used to be bacteria. So you know about chloroplast, don't you? Mitochondria does all the energy, chloroplast and chlorophyll.
Chloroplast and chlorophyll, yeah. All of the plant
chloroplast
stuff.
and mitochondria used to be bacteria, but they worked their way into a plant.
Yeah.
They thought, this is good, I like it in here. And plants became plants.
Okay.
Then we got oxygen. Then dinosaurs arrived.
Reg, pass that little bottle of Mammoth P there. They're on the side on top of the fridge in there. So, see this little bottle of stuff? If I put this in with my plants, is it going to make a big difference or not? Or is it just another load of fucking crap that everyone's chatting shit? People chat shit all the time. So are they chatting shit?
People do chat shit a lot of the time.
Or is it real? Do you know what I mean?
The science, so far, and I've checked the science, I've checked the scientific articles that have been written about it.
Yeah.
It's legit. And not only that, we wouldn't just stock a product just because of what the science says, even though it's a very good start. But it's in over 600 shops in the US. So them US boys, they don't mess about. Maybe if it was in 50 shops in the US or 100, it's in 600 shops in the US, and they're all raving about it. You go onto Grow Mouse, whose YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He did it with photosynthesis.
Oh yeah,
Plus.
big shout out to Grow Mouse. Big up. Big shout out to the Jungle Boys.
Everyone that's doing
Mendo
their work.
Dope. Big shout out to everybody up in Cali.
Anyone that's doing their work in their crops, just a big shout out to you.
Yeah, major croppers, big shout out.
So they're using it. Grow Mouse did a side by side, used it half with photosynthesis plus, which is a different type of microbe.
How much is that going to cost?
That's going to cost £44.
That size?
Yeah. Expensive. But guess how much you use?
What?
0.16 mil per litre.
How the fuck are you going to measure that?
Well, you put it into 10 litres and you put 1.6 mil, and that 10 litres ready then.
So it's ready to do what?
Ready to go, ready to fill.
Ready to
plants.
do what? 10 litres?
10 litres.
Yeah.
Into your plants. If you feed with 10 litres, or what would it be? 10 mils to.
So 1.6 mil to 10 litres of water.
Yes.
And then that 10 litres of water, you water your plant with.
Yeah.
One plant or how many plants?
Well, how many plants you've got? If you need to do 100 litres, it's 16 mil to 100 litres.
But how much application do you need to give to each plant?
I know what you're saying, but you would just, however many plants you've got, you would just feed them. So you've got 10 plants and they take 10 litres each. You make up 100 litres, you put 16 mil of that in with your A, your B, your boosters, your PKs, and you feed your plants.
But how much do you feed your plants?
However often you feed your plants with A,
regularly?
B, yeah.
Oh, so
if it's 3 times a week,
okay.
it's 3 times a week. If it's
all right,
once a
stop
week.
shouting at me. I'm just asking, Bloody hell. Big shout out to the Buff fellas as well.
What else are you all saying? Richie's saying, I've had nothing but trouble trying to use beneficial bacteria in RDWC system. Might be okay for soil, but for DWC, I've just jibbed it off and gone to sterile system. I'll answer that in a minute.
Yeah, that's a good comment, that though. Come on, answer that shit now.
It's a good comment because he's
answer
on
it?
your team.
Yeah, of course, he's on my team, so why?
So I don't know why he's had nothing but trouble, but I don't know what microbes.
So that's what we're going to say. Oh, sorry, I don't know why.
Well, what microbes? Let's find out what microbes have been used.
Then we'll talk to the guy.
What microbes have been used, Richie? What have you done with your system?
RDWC. What system's that?
RDWC is a recirculating deep water culture.
Yeah.
So it's fast-moving water, lots
big
of oxygen.
Pipe. It sounds like a nutriculture system, or is it a homemade system?
There's a few people that make them actually. Nutriculture's Rush. That's their rush system.
Okay, what you've got to watch out for that system is the amount of oxygen that's in. There's not a lot. Basically, the air pump that some of the RDWC systems that you buy commercially are crap. So the air pump's crap and the air stone's crap. Basically, they're like microscopic compared to the ones you actually have to use, and then you need to use something like an air curtain or some porous piping to put the air within the system. So yeah, let us know. Tell us some of the tips, anybody. Tell us what you've been doing and we'll tell you what you need to be doing, bro. Seriously.
But I don't agree with running a sterile system.
Neither do I.
Sterile's also a bad word to use because nothing in this world can be sterile.
To be honest, I'm going to jump out of being a skeptic for a minute, bro, because I can tell somebody who's watching, is having a bit of a hard time, So I'm going to wipe Steve's ass for him a second, and just simply look at this, lad. Look, heart going off for tea. I'm gonna show the scientist how it should get down, bro. So see your system, your RDWC, your beneficial bacteria aren't living nice there right now, bro. Seriously, it's not the right environment. There's something going on. Maybe there's not enough oxygen. The water's not the right temperature, or you're killing it with too much nutrient. You might be killing your nutrient. These bacteria because your EC might be above 1.5, bro. This is why I'm constantly saying to him, is it really good? Because you've got to sort of like babysit them as well and make sure that their little palace is always perfect, and then they will thrive, multiply, and then your plant will love it. If that's not the case, then that's why they're dying off on you, and then the tank's just becoming shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you've got to give microbes the right environment to live in. The biggest thing that people do is they employ microbes to work in the system, and then the first sign of a problem, they start adding hydrogen peroxide and bleach solutions and all
Look
kinds.
at my heart on my Insta, lad. Hey, look at that just kicking ass there, bro. Serious, look at me followers now, bro.
Where's my fucking hearts, people? Look, there's 10.
Yes, thank you.
Where's my heart? Show some love for the NPK Instagram.
Best temp to try. Make sure, so your temperature is 21 degrees, bro, and that room humidity is 55%. There's a product that you can get there. So, if the RH, the moisture in the air, is too high or too low, you'd have this little piece of equipment, and basically it keeps it perfect. Fucking perfect. So, there's top tips about drying. I've done some serious podcasts on it, bro. I've done some serious shows, and I'm going to tell you now, see them 14 days of drying can fucking finish you after all of them 4 months of growing. You know what I'm saying, bro? So 14 days of drying are more crucial than your 4 months of growing, because you can fuck it all up in that little period of time. You can fuck it up in 2 days. So you're not paying attention. You think, I'm going to go and get a fan heater, and I'm going to put it in the room, I'm going to blow that shit dry. Boom, dead, done. You've just fucked up your lovely tomatoes or your chilies or whatever you've been growing, bro. Just fucked. 21 degrees, room humidity 55. Perfect. Complete darkness, so you can let the plant understand what it needs to be doing over the next few 14 days. It'll develop what's going on inside it.
You need to spend 10 minutes in your dark room to see if it's really dark.
Yeah, man.
That light leaking in will just fuck that shit up.
Yeah.
But microbes, we were sorting out Richie saying he's made his own system using V60 air pump.
Oh, he's got a V60?
V60, so it's good air conditions. Good air. And 18 degrees Celsius.
What air stone's he using?
Let's find out.
Is he using an air stone or an air curtain?
Probably be air stones.
Definitely in the degrade.
Yeah. So if you've had them for a while and you're not getting much oxygenation there.
That output on them is shit, bro. Seriously. Even when the brand spanking new, they're crap. All them air stones, even if it's the flat ones, the flat round ones in different sizes, or the round golf balls, all I even use them for is to mix up a feed with maybe, what do we put in them? We used to put the hydro tops in there. We used to use it as a mixer.
Yeah.
A bit like a bubble blender. We didn't ever use them stones in a system because they're just not good enough. Check out on our webpage, we have things called an air curtain, or check on anybody else's webpage. I'm not bothered if you come to us or not, but make sure you're using the right shit. Air curtain, it's like a piece of pipe, and you can bend it in any way you want. any which shape you want, and it'll stay like a metal coat hanger. But right along the spine of it, all the way around it, it's got perfect holes that are perfectly put in there. They don't block, they stay functional for months on end, and the amount of air that they pump out is fucking phenomenal. So, top tip, air curtain. If you haven't got air curtains, porous piping, but the porous piping will block up.
Just give it a little wiggle and it's good to
give
go
it a
again.
wiggle.
That's what I always say.
Go on. So Microbes, why are they so good?
But Richie wasn't happy with them. But what I want to say is he got attacked by Pythium, it sounds like.
Oh, why? What happened? Tell me, because you seem to not be having a private talk with Richie.
I'm just keeping I'm just keeping up with the conversation. But
I haven't got my glasses on,
with good oxygenation,
yeah,
and the bubbles popping at the top of the water, but not too vigorous, and 18 degrees Celsius. Those conditions make it near enough impossible for Pythium to take over, because Pythium's anaerobic means it needs no oxygen. Oxygen kills it.
Yeah.
So with those conditions, you shouldn't be getting Pythium, and Pythium's bad. So you need to introduce the good bacteria and the good mycorrhiza.
What
to
was
get
the
rid of
humidity level saying though? Because if you haven't got the right humidity, then your plants will yellow off. It'll slow down. And then other things will get hold of it. And
that'll attack the plant.
Yeah. But
the Pythium is in DWC, so the Pythium's attacking the roots. How to avoid root rot? 18 degrees Celsius and good oxygenation. You won't get root rot.
Impossible. How do you get root rot?
High temperatures, no oxygenation.
When you say high temperature, what's a high temperature?
Anything above 22 degrees Celsius.
So if your water, you're telling me, if your water is above 22 degrees, what's going to happen to your roots?
What's
going to happen to the roots?
They will start to die.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as you might not get root rot at 23 degrees Celsius, but
it's not going to be good.
It's not going to be good. The higher temperature, the higher you go up in temperature, increases the likelihood of you getting root rot.
Okay.
So if you've got 18 degrees Celsius water and your air stone goes off for 24 hours, it's not good, but it's not the end of the world because your water's cold. You still can't survive in cold water. If you've got 23, 24 degree water and the air stone goes off, you can have Pythium in matter of hours, because you've just created the perfect conditions for them.
So keep your water temp low,
and oxygen high.
So what about keeping your temp? Let's keep your water loads of ice in there and keep it down to 12 degrees.
Your plants can't absorb nutrients then. So
what do you mean? So if the water's too cold, your plant can't take up the nutrients.
Exactly.
So you're paying 250, 80 quid for Dutch Pro Explode or CANNA Boost. You're just throwing it away.
You're throwing it away.
Okay, thank you.
So don't go below 15, that's bad territory.
Yeah.
And don't go above 22. Set it at 18, and then you've got that nice bit of leeway then to move about.
Okay.
If you're in bubblers, top tip from me, if you're in bubblers and you've got your lights early stage, so your plants are only a couple of inches tall, the light's hitting the top of the buckets, it's heating up the water, put some silver tape around the top of your buckets or get white lids, and it reflects the heat and stops your water from heating up as quickly.
Okay, top tip.
Yeah, man.
Oh, can I just stop it there? Everybody who's on Instagram right now, make sure you're checking out our new YouTube show. It's the NPK show. Make sure you subscribe, follow and share. Make sure you add us on everything else. But just check us out, the NPK show. And we've been doing that with P110. Yeah, so big shout out to P110. Big shout out to Murky Waters, who's been doing our audio for the show as well. So if you know any of these guys, please like and subscribe and share their stuff as well for us.
Yeah, man. Someone saying, Aaron saying, where is the shop? You got one in Manchester. Nah, bro, we're in Liverpool, but there's some good shops in Manchester.
Yeah.
Tees Mates, Trafford Hydroponics, Greater Manchester.
Yeah, and then your got my mates, Natural Growth. If you're in Manchester, go and see me boys, Natural Growth. Go and see Colonies, me pal. I'm sure he'll help you out, especially if you go on and say, well, T was saying he's your good mate. Just show him this video and say, T said get around to Natural Growth. If you're in Manchester, get round there. That's a shot to be.
And if you're close, because they're quite distance apart. The other boys are Trafford.
Yeah,
really
Trafford
good lads.
there on the other side as well. They're a good team. So if you're in Manchester, stay away from the grass shops, the ones who all like busies, and look like gang of biffs, and go and see the boys, Don't be going to no biffy shops with all mings in it, Only go to shops with certified members in the fucking boys. Simple as, all right?
Yeah, man. And that just takes away Listen, see what we've just done there? It just takes away all this fucking rivalries between shops. Now, we've got rivalries for people that aren't growers and are just in it for the money.
Yeah, there's only two sets of rivalry. There's the good shops and then there's the Muppets. Simple. All the good shops are the boys who have come from the road. Yeah, simple. And all the Muppet shops are all the people who haven't come from that and have bought an education in university and are in it for product sales and development and just bumming you full of your money. Yeah.
Hey, being from university is not a bad thing, you know.
I know,
Don't lump
I've
us
done
all
a bit
into
of
one
uni, but
category.
look what happened. I got kicked out, so fuck yous. Yeah.
Listen, university is good. You've just got to apply it in the right way. You've got to have a good mix in your team.
Yeah, don't worry, boys. I taught university a fucking trick or two to fucking clowns.
Should we do a whole podcast on it?
Oh, my God.
The stories. Tea stories in university.
Fucking hell, I overtook them in a lane. They phoned the police over me, the fucking grasses, nearly got me arrested. Didn't they?
No, that never happened.
Oh, no. I didn't overtake the car. So,
And
anyway, back to microbes.
Microbes. So, use them because the point here is, okay, I'm going to get to a good point here. You don't use microbes, what's going to happen? Do you think that there's no bad microbes out in the world? Do you think that they're not going to attack your plant? So what you're doing is you've got a field, you've got the good army, and you've got the bad army. But you've just said to me, you don't want your army of microbes. So what you're going to do is just let the bad army that's always there invade your castle.
Big shout out again to the Bud fellas. Are we going to get him? Are we going to get Spliff on? Are we going to get him on?
Get me on your podcast, lad. He wouldn't come on the podcast.
He wouldn't come on, would he?
He flaps it.
He's saying that, though. Yeah, but there's no... I know, because of the video.
Yeah, he could put a mask on.
Yeah, we could put him on the ear, give him the ear.
Get a big dog mask and get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to buy him a dog mask and put him on the podcast.
What's that say? Have you got
PMT?
Yeah. Yeah, they have got PMT.
Adam and Baggy. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to have no army? I've got an army.
Ooh.
And you know, if I've got signs of infection
Yeah.
in my plants,
Yeah.
not in me, in my plants, I add more army. I don't start taking them away with, like, hydrogen peroxide, liquid oxygen, trying to get rid of all the bacteria, because you know what the problem is? See, the bad bacteria,
Yeah.
they tend to be a bit harder than the good bacteria.
Okay.
So you wipe them out with hydrogen peroxide and you're left with a couple of soldiers.
So
on the
would
bad
that be
side.
what you're calling a sterile environment?
That's what people try and achieve with hydrogen peroxide. They
So-
try and run in inverted commas a sterile system.
So you're saying to me, when you create a sterile environment, you're killing everything off?
Yeah, and it's impossible to create a sterile environment.
Okay, and what you're saying about that is the bad bacteria are quite stronger than the good bacteria.
Exactly.
So when you wipe them all out, the bad ones kick off first.
Exactly.
So you're giving the bad ones a bit of a head start. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when the bad ones get a head start, well, their armies are 100 fucking deep, 1,000 deep, before your soldiers have even started coming back to try and play ball.
Okay.
So it's not a good idea to start using hydrogen peroxide and liquid oxygens, because you're just playing a bad game. And
Well, I'm
then
just sceptical because, you know, everybody, how many people have brought a bottle like this to the shop?
this is a fucking good point, actually. And I'm going to start worrying the people that produce beneficial bacteria and mycorrhiza. Because, you know, I did some research and found out that Oregon State Agricultural Department have recently just done a test.
Yeah.
95% of products that claim that they have bacteria or mycorrhiza, fungi in their bottles had fuck all in them.
Oh.
95%, bro.
So that's why we do this show. Because we like to see who's chatting shit and who's not. I know me and Steve chat a lot of shit all the time, but it's only shit that we've heard. We were just passing it on, you know. But we actually believe in finding out whether these are actually good or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, my point with Mammoth P, the reason I'm going on about Mammoth P so much is because he's a PhD, he's a scientist, he was talking my language.
Yeah.
And he's been a PhD soil microbiologist for like 20 years. Now, here's an example.
Well, I'm going to just stop you.
No,
right?
no, let me finish my example.
They all come and talk all of this science shit, yeah, and I don't understand it. It's a load of little sciencey crap.
I've got a point to make.
But I've got a point to make because I'm only interested in whether the customers are going to get the money's worth, whether it works or whether you are at the bollocks. And I don't want to know if you are at the bollocks. Go on.
I'm not at the bollocks. And this scientist is an act of bollocks. Because my point I'm trying to make is he's a PhD scientist for 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to, with his little microbiology community,
Yeah.
where there's hundreds of other scientists,
Yeah.
do you think he's going to release a product that is going to put him under? So the whole rest of his whole PhD community around the world is going to turn around and say to him, that's a proper shit product, that. We used it, we tested it.
I know
You're a
I
wanker.
wouldn't.
You're
I know
a
I
wanker.
personally wouldn't put my name to a product that a fork could do that.
Yeah, would you put your reputation or your name to make a little bit of dough?
No.
To make a lot of dough?
No.
Would you do it to make a lot of dough?
No.
Because you can't. What's the point in having dough if you've got nobody to enjoy it with? Because they all think you're muppets because you chatted shit about something.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is a lot of people are unscrupulous and will do that because they don't think that you're going to find out about the shit. But he's backed this up with science, and he's a PhD scientist. He's not about to ruin his career over one product.
That's fair dues.
And the growers in the US are not chatting shit about it. Somebody said there, Andy, big shout out to Andy and his Great White and his Orca. It's something that we're going to be testing and using. Not that we need to test it. It's been around for many, many years. But we were having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I said that product's in 600 shops. He said his product's in 600 shops though. And it's the amount of stockists isn't a good enough reason for a product to be good. But I'll come back.
It doesn't matter who stocks something in the shop, because the shop stock a load of shit all over the world. Doesn't mean you're going to buy it, does it?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's about whether the product's actually good, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm here because I want to know, is these microbes any good, or is it just another bottle of critters to go on the market?
Exactly. Well, from the science and from what the guys on Instagram have been sending me messages about, who've used it, done side by side, they're saying they're getting denser tomatoes, denser fruits, denser, more flowers on the tobacco plants, whatever it is, they're getting more of it with the Mammoth P.
Well, all I'm going to say is the proof is in the pudding, so we are going to check this shit out.
It's in test right now.
It is, yeah, we have actually got it in test right now, so in fair dues, we do test every product. If you've only just joined us, you don't know what's going on, this is the NPK show, NPK Hydroponics. Yeah, we're NPK Live. We are the NPK show. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Check us out, www.mpktechnology.co.uk.
Yeah, man. We've just had East Coaster Dam join us. He's the distributor for Buddha's Tree in the US.
Okay.
And I just want to give him a shout out.
From Oosterdam?
From East Coast Dam.
East Coast Dam.
He's over in the US.
Certified people.
Distributes the Buddha's Tree. Big fan of it. Check his Instagram out. He's got heavy pictures on his Instagram.
Yeah.
And he's just started.
What type of pictures has he got on his Instagram? Pictures of what?
Cannabis.
Why?
Lots of cannabis. Because it's legal over there, isn't it?
Oh my God. So you can talk about cannabis and he can show you pictures of cannabis because it is totally legal in... Where is he?
In the US.
Easterdam.
East Coast Dam.
East Coast Dam. Big shout out to you, bro. Is he on Instagram?
He's on Instagram. He's right there now.
What's his Instagram name?
East Coaster Dam.
East Coaster Dam. Adam, check his pictures out.
Yeah, man. And he's just started. He loves the podcast. Just said there, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much, bro. And he's just out of, I think, because he loved this show, he just thought he's got two of his mates.
Thank you very much, bro, for doing what you're doing as well.
Listen,
all of us together.
Him and his two mates have a smoke now, and they just talk about the industry and they talk about cannabis on their new iTunes
Well, I don't
show.
condone anything to do with that because I live in the UK.
Not in the UK, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Obviously. But if you're in the US, then you need to check out the show. East Coast, what's the name of the show again? Put it up there so I can shout it out.
Advertise the name of your show so everybody can see what's going on. Budfellas, make sure you add the Budfellas as well. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, man. So what have you got for me anyway? What are you saying about... Yeah, hang on. Reggie's getting some love from Mr. Frost. Give us a shout out to Mr. Frost. He's a
Frosty,
legend.
big shout out to Mr. Frost. The phone's ringing, everything's ringing now.
We'll decline that.
Hey, I'm telling you now, though, my fans are kicking your asses, though. Look at that.
Oh, Drew, what? Just because you're getting some hearts? Listen, my Instagram will start showing some hearts right now. My boys need to show some love.
Nah, yours are all gone. Anyway,
East Coast Dams, his show's called the Joint Committee Sessions.
Okay, what's that on?
iTunes. It's on iTunes now.
On iTunes?
Yeah.
What do you mean on iTunes?
It's a podcast on iTunes. All podcasts are on iTunes.
Oh, his is a podcast as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
sorry.
just started his like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
But his is like a smoke and a talk with his mates. It's a good show.
Good.
It's a good show.
I'll check that out myself, bro. I haven't checked it out, so I'll have a little listen to that in the car. Podcasts are brilliant for in the car.
Yeah.
They really are. The best place to listen to a podcast in the car, I reckon.
Definitely.
Refo.
Because I tend to have a little listen. I have a listen on the Sunday, make sure that this is all sounding good.
Because in the house, I'll watch the video.
Yeah.
In the car, you can't watch the video because you're driving.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can listen to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what else have you got to say about microbes anyway? The boys are saying there that he's been using Mammoth P. It's 95% water, but the 5% ingredients is what does the magic. And he's been using it in Colorado, and he's been using it since it's been out in a couple of years, and he's a big fan of it. That's Mr. Frost. Big fan of it.
All I know is that it's been doing major, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And that's why it's in the shop.
I'm very excited about it as well, because you know what they're doing?
What?
You know the thing I'm most excited about? And
What?
this won't excite you until I get to the end. They do science. Before they released the product, they tested it and put it in an academic paper. And only when it was proven to work did they release the product. Now, in 5 years' time, growers are going to look at Mammoth P, know that it works, see the science and go, that's interesting. The
Well,
science
can I
said it works. No.
I was going to help you. I was going to jump to your side then.
1 minute. You can in a minute. So growers in 5 years' time will be looking at Mammoth P going, they've got science, the product works.
What have
boom.
they been growing?
Cannabis.
They've been growing cannabis?
Yeah, in Colorado.
How much? What? How much cannabis have they been growing? So they've been growing cannabis with this. Are you sure we're allowed to talk about this on this show?
Well, I'm talking about in Colorado.
Okay.
So it's illegal
So
in
we
the
haven't
UK.
been growing cannabis in this show, have we?
No, not in this show, no.
Okay,
no,
good.
no.
Thank God for that.
We're not that good.
Yeah.
And it's also, we're not allowed to.
Yeah.
But in Colorado, it's medicinally legal, recreational legal. We need to be over there. I
So
think.
how many plants are they researching on?
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
They've got a facility, actually. Colin was telling me, they've got a facility there where they're going to be charging people to send the products. They'll do 100 plants side by side and see if the product works. So if you've really got your balls about you, you'll send your product to them.
Okay.
Salad Groove says microbe month. Yes, bro. Adam said, what about growing with CO2 and no fans? Dead quick. CO2 is brilliant. The plants need it for it's their air. But no fans. You need fans. You need small fans.
It'll survive, but why no fans? Why not put a fan in as well and then increase your...
Move the CO2 around the room a
Move
bit
it
better.
around, circulate the room, help them breathe.
Exactly.
Instead of removing an option, add it in. So then CO2, fans, nutrients, bacteria, oxygenated water. Oh,
what a concoction.
you're just throwing some major shit in the mix there, bro, to promote serious growth and serious development. But then you could go, okay, no microbes, no fan, only water them once a week. Oh,
just a
no
little
oxygen,
bit of A&B.
just
A dabble of PK.
no, let's give them everything, every possible chance that you can give them. You know,
To produce
if you
the
aim
best.
for the stars, you'll hopefully end on the moon or land on the moon.
Landing on the moon would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go.
Have you got anything more to hit me with on microbes? Because we've been talking about Mammoth P because we did the podcast with Colin and I got really into it. That was last week's podcast.
So okay, we to be honest, we've gone in a bit on Mammoth P. Are Mammoth P paying me and you to hold this bottle up?
No, we've actually had to pay them to get the fucking product in the shop. They gave us a few samples.
Yeah, they give not many.
No.
They give us a few t-shirts.
A cap
few
and a
hats.
t-shirt.
Yeah, cap and a t-shirt, which we give away to one of our listeners.
Yeah.
But I know that you're really fond of this product.
Because, to finish off my point from before, growers are going to be saying in 5 years' time, advanced nutrients, Buddha's Tree, Dutch Pro, CANNA, everyone that at the moment doesn't produce academic research or give it to academic research, growers are going to turn around and go, for new products that get brought to market, where's your research? Where's the science that proves that it works? What do you mean you haven't got it? Well, you need to do the research.
Yeah.
Then I'll take your product.
Yeah.
Then I'll test it. So it's going to get rid of all of this shit.
Yeah.
All of this shit that's in the industry, like fucking advanced nutrients as rhino skin with 0.01% silica in it.
Okay.
That is shit. Why is it even in the market?
Yeah, for any of our watchers and our listeners, I'm going to tell you something. If you've ever bought a product and you're a proper grower, and you've bought advanced nutrients and you've bought a product called rhino skin, you've been getting robbed. You've been getting robbed. Yeah, because it's got nothing in it apart from water and a little tiny, tiny, tiny bit of what you need, which is just robbery, daylight robbery. So, there you go. But that's my personal opinion. Advanced Nutrients might say it's gold, but it's not, because we've tested it in a laboratory and we have the results.
They even say on the bottle, we obviously we tested it in the lab just to see that they weren't like understating what they've got. But it even says on the label, if you work out the chemical equations.
Oh, so it tells you it's robbing you?
It tells you it's robbing you. But
it
tells you in a scientific way that not many people would bother looking into.
Yeah.
So it's fucking shit. One customer came in after I'd done a big rant on Instagram. Was like, nah, it can't be that shit. I went, bro, boom, £30, 1 litre bottle of rhino skin, took it off the shelf, went, come outside, dahlias were just growing, poured the whole bottle, concentrated onto the beds and went, come back in 2 days and 3 days, see if they're dead, which they should be. I just poured a litre of concentrate over them. He came back 3 or 4 days later, the dahlias were flying because they've been given 99.9% water and 0.1%
this plant should have died
silica.
instantly with the full bottle of silicone on it.
Imagine you'd give it bloom silica, which is 38% silica,
It would have just
potassium
rotted it
silicate.
instantly.
I'd have fucking killed it. So, I've got a vendetta against that rhino skin. It's just robbing you. £30 for the litre. Fuck off. Dickheads.
Right. So, where does that leave us then? What do we have then?
I just, you know what?
That's what I wanted to do. So we've talked about Mammoth P.
Yeah.
Quickly, give me a run through of microbes that we stock in store now. Boom.
Biosis, EcoThrive.
Okay.
EcoThrive Charge.
Yeah.
They're the 2 products from EcoThrive's range.
Yeah.
We also stock, and this is going to be tested.
Yeah.
Because I haven't actually tested this product, but the boys did in the past. Advanced Nutrients is Piranha and Tarantula.
Yeah.
They're the ones that I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I'm going to be putting
a
under
bit
scrutiny.
dodgy, sorry, yeah.
Are they part of that 95% that don't work?
We've got Advanced Nutrients
We're gonna
under our
find out.
radar because
Definitely.
at the bollocks.
Exactly.
At the fucking bollocks.
Something
yeah.
that we haven't got in stock, but I had a chat with Andy this morning.
Yeah.
And it's something that we do need to look into is Great White. And the reason that we haven't stocked it is because they put ecto mycorrhiza in there, which I didn't believe in. Ecto and endo.
Ecto and endo. Well, there's only one type that likes to work with certain categories of plants.
Yeah, endo.
Yes.
Ecto are for trees.
Yeah.
They've heard the podcast and they've come back and said that's a very fair point, but ecto mycorrhiza are so cheap, why not put it in there? I was like, it's a good point. But what I want now is there's scientific research that shows that if you add ectomycorrhiza, it does now compete the endos. Because if you're putting something in there that's competing with the endos, which we want,
But
it shouldn't
as
be in
being a
there.
skeptic, just because something's cheap does it mean it's always good?
To put it in, exactly what I want to find out, bro. But it to be fair to the product, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are loving it. Jungle Boys use it in the US. And they do use good stuff. So it's one of those things that's now under my radar. I'm going to have a look at it. And we'll be finding out about it.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of this show. Science versus
One more,
skeptic.
Extreme Garden, Mycos and Azos.
Yeah.
Mycos and Azos, that's another one that we stock in the shop.
Okay, yeah, they're really good.
Azos, brilliant. For literally, we transplanted plants, went in on a day, 4 days later, roots are hitting the bottom of the DWC tray. Azos, very good product, in my opinion. I'm going to have a look at these phones and see what people have been saying, because I can't read a thing.
Go ahead, I can't read nothing. You know what I'm going to say, though, as well, while we're here, while it's science versus skeptic, I'm going to go also back to a little bit of imitate or innovate, and I'm going to talk about Discovery.
Yeah, okay. I knew this was coming one day.
Hello, Can. My friends, they produce the SANlight.
The brilliant can
range, can filter range,
original can
fault.
light, Isomax.
And they've just brought out the new what's it called, State?
The QMax.
QMax.
The EC fan.
EC, yes.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of the fan. Yeah. So
Reason being, tell them why.
They kindly sent one of us free of charge to install into the lab.
Into the lab.
And you know, at the lab, we do what we do.
We test.
And we test. Now, I'm being very nice here, because you're my mate, so I've got to be polite and be nice and courteous, because they've been very good to us, Can.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to give you some constructive criticism now. The fan broke.
Twice.
So, hold on. So, the fan broke. Did we send it away?
Things happen. Shit happens.
Come on.
Barry took it down.
Took it down.
He was a bit pissed off. Sent it back.
Sent it back.
New one delivered and arrived.
New one arrives.
Barry puts it up.
Barry puts it up.
Huffing and puffing.
Huffing and puffing.
It works.
It works.
4 weeks later,
4 weeks.
it stopped working again.
Stopped.
That really just pissed me off then.
Have we got a new one installed?
We're not going to be putting another QMax in there.
No.
Barry just won't install a third one.
Okay, so we are going to remove the QMax out and we are going to give...
Hyperfan have just
crack
jumped
at the
right
whip.
in
Yeah.
and they've just said, we're going to give you a Hyperfan, put it straight in.
But this is some constructive criticism to CANNA.
Yeah.
They are a very good company. They've been around a long time. They're our number
They're
one
brilliant
favourites.
company.
Yeah.
That's all we stock in the shop.
So what you need to do, you need to put this ECQ Max back into...
Just back into fucking research and design.
Yeah.
Because they've got a little box on there as well, which is where all the electrics must go on.
Yeah.
Before AutoPot, air was escaping from the box.
Okay, because it wasn't sealed properly.
It wasn't sealed properly.
Okay, that's...
Now that's been rectified.
That's been done.
But...
No, the fans failed.
This is a major company. This shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Okay, but shit does happen.
Shit does happen.
Okay, and when they do build the upgraded EC fan and figure out what the issue is, we will be more than happy to take it back on again and put it back into the lab and have it tested again for you.
But I won't say there's a new person. There's been somebody that's been knocking on our door for many, many years.
Who's this?
Hyperfan.
Hyperfan.
And
okay.
They've been knocking at the door, and I told them that the QMax had failed twice. And they said, well, are you going to give Hyperfan a go? And it's only fair because we've kept Hyperfan away, not because it's not a good fan, it's a brilliant fan. We've just got a great relationship with CANNA, and the Isomax and the CANNA range of filters are phenomenal, and we'll still carry on stocking them. They're still our number one. But for EC fans, electrically commutated fans, which is going to be the future, Hyperfans are EC, so that's going to be what we're looking at over the next few months.
So watch this space, because we are going to be installing that fan and seeing how that gets on in the lab.
Yeah. And hopefully Barry won't have to take down any more fans.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Right.
Do you want to have a little look at see if you're on? Listen, you got up to 16 watchers, views at one point.
Did I?
16. So for what is it? Midday, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Not bad for a Thursday afternoon, is it?
Yeah. Big shout out to everybody who's watching on Instagram, listening on podcast. We've got the YouTube channel out, NPK Show. Check it out. It's me and Steve looking like a right pair of wallies. Same old stuff. We've got P110 who's filmed it for us. So if anybody you've heard of P110, give them a big like, subscribe and share. We've got Murky Waters who does all of our audio.
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 Hey, Murky, what's audio?
Audio.
It's on the audio.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's been going on. So check us out, NPK Hydroponics. If you like to grow plants, grow. Big up P110. Big up P110.
Yeah,
big
man.
shout out to everybody who's just sat there and
boys.
watched us. Big up to everybody who grows plants. Yeah. Big shout out to all the Cali crew, all of the Mendo Dope, everybody.
East Coast
Big
Dam,
T's,
Jungle
Every Grow
Boys,
Show,
Big
Jungle
T's, Every
Boys,
Joe Show.
Bud Fellas, Phil who won the competition,
East Coast Dam, Mr. Frost,
Amsterdam,
everyone.
Barcelona, Spanibus Show. We'll be there again this year. So check it out. Stay with us. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe and share.
Looks like you have all been enjoying. I've seen the comments.
Yeah.
Much love to the Instagram fam. And I think we'll do this again. We've just got to do this every time now. So we're live on Facebook. We haven't forgot about you guys, even though there's not been a single comment, but lots of people are watching.
Facebook's dead. Facebook is
Instagram's
finished.
where it's at.
Instagram's where it's popping.
You all know that.
Yeah, so Facebook is finished. Good job, Facebook bought Instagram. I think you could see that one. He's
that Mark Zuckerberg's on the ball, mate.
Why can't we get him to work for us? He's a clever cunt, him, isn't he?
He's a little bit clever.
He's a little get.
Yeah. But one last one there. Mr. Frost says, get me on your podcast.
Anytime you want,
Anytime, brother.
Anytime you want. This is the People's Podcast. Check out the studio. Have you showed them the studio? Have you shown them the studio on your phone?
Well, let's finish the podcast now and we'll do some after stuff with the Instagram.
Okay, yeah, we'll show you what we get up to behind the scenes.
The Hyperfan basic fan is not sounds, but you can get it in a silencer yet, so absolutely, yeah, you can. Yes, we are doing. We're on Facebook right now, actually.
But it's dying to death.
Well, Facebook. We'll still always do Facebook Live just for the people that want to watch. But listen, we've never had this much love from the Facebook that we get on Instagram. There's like been fucking 100 comments there. I haven't been able to keep up. So thank you very much. We'll do, and something that me and Thomas are going to do more often as well is, we know we've been a bit up and down. Obviously, we took August off. We haven't gone live in September because we've been doing loads of shit. But we're going to try our very best to go live, do the podcast every Friday around 1 or 2 o'clock. Sound good with you?
Yeah.
And then so we are going to try our best. So you all know from next week, every Friday between 12, 1, 2 o'clock, we'll be going live. So keep your phones on you if you're interested, and we'll be doing this shit.
Make sure, if you don't know how to put up a tent, how to set up a grow room, how to build a crop, go on to the NPK show. Check it out. It's on YouTube now, and I'm showing you how to build crops. Simple as the NPK show. Top cropper, there you go.
Oh, hey, wait there, look. Why have all these comments only just started coming through? Jason from AutoPot said that's why no commercial growers use them. I don't know what he's on about. Damn. And then Jason said, scientists can't grow plants. Only growers can.
Yeah, only the growers grow the plants. The scientists fucking
with a big
got
kiss.
A clue.
With a big kiss.
Hey.
Well, I'm a scientist at heart, but I'm a scientist that can grow plants.
Hey, look where no GCSEs gets you, boys. Fucking flying. Yeah, fuck you, lad. Fuck you.
Listen, I bring the fucking heavy information.
No GCSEs.
I bring the heavy information. You see that mitochondria, chloroplast shit, DNA, RNA, the shit that gets you right deep into plants. I'm bringing the fucking heavy science shit.
Yeah. So, this is podcast 126. So, for anybody who's only just joined, you're on your iPhone, you haven't got a fucking clue what we're talking about, go onto that little purple box on your iPhone. It says podcast. You can't delete it off your phone. It's always there. Go into that, type NPK, and you'll see 126 episodes of this shit. We've been doing this shit for years. We've got interviews with Howard Marks, all sorts of people, everybody. I can't even remember half of them. We've interviewed that many people. We've got some of the London grow shops down there. So a big shout out to Slim's Hydroponics in Hounslow. A big shout out to Jay Hydro to Grow. Where's he based in London? Sutton in London. So if any of the boys are in them areas and you can't come to my shop, please go and see the other boys in their shops, yeah?
And I want to give out some Birmingham love to the urban grow shop.
Big shout out to Birmingham, yeah, fucking hell. Major love to all the Birmingham boys, yeah. Serious.
So, Mikey, that's end the podcast. We'll see you next week. Me and Thomas talk. We're going to start talking a little bit about politics as well, about these growers that come in the shop and think they know it fucking all and you can't teach them fuck all.
Yeah.
And also about the shops.
If you're working with the grower, yeah, so you might be a person who likes to listen to things and take education in, but you're working with a partner and he's a fucking know-it-all and thinks he knows everything. He's fucking your shit up. Get rid of him before you get rid of anything. Because somebody who can't learn something or take in a bit of knowledge from somebody else, they're already finished from the word go. So he will cause you problems. He's worse than the biggest pest or disease or perfume or spider mite.
He is the biggest
pest.
Get
him and fuck him off. Or her. Could be him or her. Yeah. So if you've got a partner or somebody in your team who's got negativity around them, get rid of the negativity before you crack on and grow some plants.
Yeah, man.
Top tip.
End the podcast 126. We'll be back next week talking some politics shit.
Yeah, man.
See you later. Bye-bye.
So not phony. They try to disrespect me when they're online especially, but everything cool when they check me because I'm so cool and deadly. See, I had to realize slowly that nobody actually knows me. Yeah, man, I got 15 different iPhones, but I am so not phony. See them online, they're vexing. They see the shirt I'm flexing. They see my spliff get larger. They see the girl I'm sexing. I'm a Nigerian eagle in London smoking illegal. Nah, we are so not equal. Them man are cloning people. Anything I do, they bite. How do you sleep at night? Is it codeine and Sprite? I switch up the steeds on guys. I stand up in the rain, I'm dancing. Then I look at the game, start laughing. It's not a joke though.